Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Our Professional Gamers Athletes. Within this podcast, we're going to discuss some of the various aspects, ranging from what esports was like in the earlier days as an online sport to where it is now. Additionally, we are going to discuss the players themselves and possibly get some insight into what drives these players to work so hard. By doing this, I hope you can get some newfound appreciation for what esports is and why the players deserve as much respect as any other type of athlete. Esports as is today, with the huge multi-million dollar competitions and full-time paid players are relatively new, but the very first esports competitions can be traced back to 1972, where the first competition was held over the game Space War. Flash forward to 2020, and esports is a multi-billion dollar industry and continues to grow annually. According to an article from CNN, in 2018, 380 million people worldwide will watch esports, 165 million of which are considered to be enthusiasts. In 2017 alone, there were over 588 major esports events, and more than 50 colleges have varsity esports program, including us here at Boise State. Esports is very unique from other forms of sports in the traditional sense because it no longer relies on mastering one's physical abilities in a certain area, but rather focusing on sharp hand-eye coordination, game knowledge, and sheer practice and experience from playing the game for countless hours. Esports is a rather broad term, but the sport itself covers hundreds of different games, all requiring a unique set of skills from one another. A few examples of this would be something like Call of Duty and StarCraft 2. Call of Duty, as I'm sure many of you may know, is an FPS, or first-person shooter, style of game where your objective is to eliminate a limited team or capture points for a set amount of time. This type of game requires lightning-fast reactions, map knowledge, communication between teammates, and many other underlying skills. If we compare this to something like StarCraft 2, it requires a completely different set of skills. StarCraft 2 is an RTS, or real-time strategy, game, and in this type of game, the idea is to build up an army as fast and effectively as possible to attack your opponent and destroy their base. For this type of game, you need maximum game knowledge about the units themselves and their counters, excellent macro and micro, which are abilities to control your units to give them a favorable position in battle, and the ability to make a lightning fast judgment on when and where to attack to get the most value from your moves. As someone who has grown up my entire life playing all kinds of different games from all different genres ranging from RPGs to FPS to RTS, I already have a deep appreciation for these athletes and how much effort they put into mastering the skills to play these games, but I'm sure most of you haven't spent a good portion of your young adult lives just playing games, so you don't understand the effort required to play at the professional level. From an interview with professional player Enzo Conte in August 2019, the interviewer questions him about the various aspects of his life as a player playing the game Fortnite. Enzo started at a young age playing Call of Duty and eventually switched over to Fortnite at around the age of 16. Once Fortnite came out and became as big as it was, he switched to playing and saw a lot of success and was eventually picked up to play professionally. Enzo mentions that he trains practices anywhere from 12 hours per day and only concerns himself over two things, playing and practicing. Leading up to a tournament, he reviews the teams and players he will be playing against and develops various strategies and game plans to end up victorious. Enzo Enzo played for years and years for several hours a day and finally caught a break to play professionally after all that time. Of course, with that much practice, there have to be some downsides, right? Of course. In an article titled "The Dark Side of Esports" by Jay Peritoneo, he discusses how because of the nature of gaming itself, the players are sitting for extended periods of time, and this can lead to various health concerns ranging from diabetes, heart disease, weight gain, and many other health concerns for these players. Additionally, the author discusses how some people aspiring to become esports athletes puts everything into becoming a professional player, and if those dreams don't work out as planned, they are often left with no backup plan, which can be detrimental when leaving high school and going to college or not going to college at all. On top of the physical problems, they are also plagued with various mental health issues stemming from the pressure and desire to perform at a high level and to be almost perfect in the execution of the skills, as well as competing in front of potentially millions of people for a multi-million dollar prize. Fortunately, many teams have realized these issues and placed their members on routines which include daily exercise, a balanced diet, and good sleep schedules to prevent a lot of the issues the players are facing. Additionally, they have also required the help of mental health therapists and sports athlete psychologists to aid these players in dealing with the stressors that they face. As you can see, an esports athlete is similar to in many ways than one assume to traditional athletes. Besides obviously the physical aspects. I hope this little insight into the world of esports gives you some newfound appreciation for industry, and hopefully some understanding of the work these athletes put into their chosen profession.